Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to uh, Left 4 Dead 2. Apparently I have a friend playing if you look at the bottom left corner, um, which it's funny certainly because one would have assumed that when this first launched out, if you had a decent amount of friends on Steam, which in all honesty not that many people use the friends list on Steam anyways, that list would cycle very quickly through, say, 20 or 30 people all playing at the same time. But now, 12 years later, the same unintended consequence there is you have one person's name just being cycled over and over and over again. We won't be playing with that person, though. And in all honesty, the people that friend me on Steam, I ask people to friend me on Steam just as followers on my YouTube channel, but I don't typically ever have a scenario where it would make sense to play with them. Okay, so now we're starting Swamp Fever. Still want to do it on easy. Although I do think at some point I am going to, instead of playing the first scenarios like Crash Course and doing the last chapter if we have extra time, I think I want to try that on Expert and just see how incredibly hard that would be. So that's something I think I'll work forward towards. We have 4 chapters. It seems like we're getting pretty consistently down to 4 chapters. We'll play as coach this time and we'll hop in. This is probably where we're going to run into the Mudmen. It seems like there is going to be a consistent, like, single special skin or special infected, because there were zombies in the Dark Carnival, but I mean there were zombie clowns in the Dark Carnival, but that doesn't really work. Like, there should be one special
Nick, what the hell? You shot
infected.
the pilot. Well, he wasn't doing a very good job once he became a zombie, now was he? True, he was a zombie, but he was also our only pilot. I shot a zombie. He was a zombie, Ellis. He must have gotten bitten before he picked us up.
So this would have been the nameless guy that we would have seen that picked us up at the end of the Dark Carnival. Like the voiceless, nameless character. Still, the game wants you to crouch way more than you ever really would. So looks like we're gonna be back to some trains and some forest and some buildings. Kind of the same old from the carnival area, which I suppose that works, and that highlights how the carnival area probably took them a lot of extra effort. Now, I guess the question here is how much is it charging for gas? $15 a gallon? Or is that the total sale?
Keep your eyes peeled.
99 cents a gallon?
Charger!
This is such old technology, I don't even remember how it works.
Boom about here!
Alright. Can you have an above ground tank for gasoline, or is that for like propane? Alright, we'll take this frying pan because we haven't killed a zombie with that or decapitated a zombie with that yet. And we're trying to do at least once. What I wanted to know is if this would just blow up the whole gas station. Goodbye car parts. Funny joke there. It's gonna be hard to even do that. See, you would kind of expect at that point, that is odd, that it just jumped up in the air to die. You kind of expect that you cross this line and you would just have a explosion behind you to spook you, because that would work. rather well.
Defib unit here.
Okay, well, I'm
Grabbing fire bullets.
gonna take the fire bullets.
I'm a reload.
Let's throw that way and see if that does anything. I don't think it really did.
Machete here.
Reloading here.
I don't wanna hit something. I'm gonna see if I can kill a few people with that and hope that that is enough. Then I'm gonna take the machete instead.
Weapons here. Oh shit! Watch you.
Reloading.
Alright, we got a decapitation on the machete, so I think we're done with that. I really would like to see the
Reloading.
AI not do things like that. You definitely can feel how a new generation of technology here would consider the sound effect
Pipe bombs
of
here.
every single gunshot, and there would be much more of a
Search these houses.
concept of not making a noise and attracting more zombies. Like,
There's a smoker around here.
this is where it comes back to the idea of how much they were in love with the AI director concept, so much so that they give it really a name instead of just calling it a procedurally generated scripted system, which, in all fairness, procedurally generated scripted system is more words. But you could have improved that technology by just having a audio bubble. Every gunshot that flies out, every bullet, well, you really wouldn't want the audio to follow the bullet so much, but the bullet path itself could be the same line
Nice kill, Nick.
that zombies would follow. So if a bullet whizzed by their head, they would hear it and then start running in that direction, even from a very far distance, whereas someone further away wouldn't, a zombie further away wouldn't hear the bullet and wouldn't start running. That way you might be able to convince a small number of zombies to come in your direction instead of large numbers. So instead of it just being, oh, the game is bored, it hasn't seen any actions happen, so let's throw a bunch of zombies at you, why not just have every area full of a certain amount of zombies, make it kind of a puzzle game, where there's, say, exactly 1,000 zombies always in the level, or it changes depending on the size of the level, and you are so completely overwhelmed by those numbers that you have to implement real strategy. Yeah, I think there's an achievement for swinging a weapon like that on a charger and killing it, but also feels like that'd be
Weapons
almost
over here.
impossible to pull off. Zombie U had somewhat of a feeling like that concept, where there was
Spitter around.
a lot of really strong zombies around, but the number was somewhat limited. But the problem with Zombie U is that
Reloading.
it seemed to kind of reset the number of zombies around.
All right. Good.
Mine.
Rogue, that was a nice shot.
Reloading.
Yeah. And I kind of would like it if you could walk right next to a zombie and it decides not to even attack you. Sometimes.
Weapons here.
Coach's lines of dialogues seem to be oh geez, I thought that would set off an alarm for sure.
Heads up.
Reloading here.
Reloading.
Feels like there should be more of a reward specifically for hitting an actual zombie with the boomer bile,
Reloading.
but there really isn't.
Reloading.
Let's see what music plays out of this one.
Anybody find anything?
Grabbing me a Molotov.
Hey, Tom, it's Bob from the office down the hall.
This is
You, buddy,
a
how have you been?
comedic musician.
Things have been okay for me.
I haven't heard him make anything new lately. He was on, I think, Wait Wait Don't Tell Me, an NPR radio show.
I think I speak for all of us when I say I
Um,
understand why you folks might hesitate
It's funny
to submit to our demand.
because it is a zombie song.
You're all gonna die screaming.
It's on.
Let's see if you actually want to hear the music. There's kind of no way to do it. And I imagine there probably is going to be a high number of people that think that that was some kind of custom song when it isn't.
Reloading. Nade launcher. Heads up, dude!
These trailers as a concept make a lot of sense. It's a little strange that there's nothing in these coolers.
Pipe bomb for me.
But it feels like it's fairly late to the party. Like a lot of stuff feels very late to the party, where we could have gone through several
Got pills.
sequences in the in the main game, in the first game, running through different areas that instead of city block after city block after city block. Actually want the adrenaline, but whatever. I can't find it, and I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it. It looks like we've got a...
They actually have to put a sign up to stop people from swimming in the gator park? Alright.
We got guns.
So they have a zombie here that's splayed out.
Going with the shotgun.
I mean, you might as well just take the pill.
That'll keep it tight.
Here, spitter.
Apparently we are fairly quickly going to call a ferry.
Got a spinner. Goddamn goo.
So what's up here? I don't like that you can't jump onto a ladder. That's
Guns!
slightly annoying. What's funny is they seemingly could not find a way to me if I stood here. They could only find me if I was standing here.
Reloading!
But them finding their path to me is actually more beneficial. Interesting glitchiness.
Get ready. Calling the boat.
Yeah, I have to actually wonder if there's just any benefit at all to being in the building. The problem here is, like, guerrilla warfare only makes sense if you know how to fight guerrilla warfare. Hiding or urban combat in buildings, if you want to call it that, instead of hiding in the forest. Otherwise, you're at a much better advantage to when you have long projectile guns to just be in an open field, particularly when you have 4 players back to back. Like,
Reloading! Weapon.
Reloading.
even when I get jumped, it's just like a non-issue. Yep. And see, this would be a section where you would expect to either see a lot of zombies running at you and hitting the water and dying for some reason, or a lot of zombies popping up in the water to be a shooting gallery.
Do you guys know anything about the swamps?
Otherwise, this
Oh, yeah,
feels
I know
like
plenty
a
about swamps,
loading
bugs,
section.
Gators, snakes, and zombies now.
Just run in circles shooting things. Okay. It feels like some of this boardwalk is more destructible than a lot of other areas. Feels like you could jump in the water if you wanted to.
Okay, stay on the walkway.
Yeah, don't wander off. Adrenaline shot here.
Let's grab it. Where is he? I don't see him. I don't even see my character. This guy is like stuck. So I was hoping to convince all the zombies to attack the charger, but that didn't work.
Chest paddles here. Oh yeah.
Reloading.
Chest paddles here.
Reload.
Here, I don't need this.
Much better to keep me for a bit.
Yeah. The boardwalk and the swamp stuff, you probably want to keep that unique, but we could have seen the occasional mobile home park in the city. You are running to a level of fairly dangerous gameplay in that your
Reloading.
it's getting fairly dark and foggy, so it's
Grab
getting
your
kind of hard
Molotov.
to see everything. And there's an achievement for killing a bunch of zombies with a chainsaw, but I don't feel like I really want to do it. And here you have a bathtub just in the middle of nowhere. Seems like there's alligators that way. And
Careful now.
Right or
Boomer.
see observation deck this way.
Boomer. Reloading.
Look out now! Charger!
Weapons here.
Let's see.
Molotov.
Hey, I'm reloading.
Anyone needs a pill?
Reloading.
And yeah, I'm just goofing off once again, so
Watch out!
Stay on the walkways.
and I guess that's probably the merge of the path, and
I'm gonna reload.
the other option would have been to run this way.
Grabbing a shot.
And you just barely have anything happening on the edges.
I hear a jockey.
This is an area where notice how there's kind of no animation
Bullets here.
transition there.
Hey, look out!
Says replace my low ammo weapon.
I hear charges. Don't get charged with shit.
Yeah, I guess your charger needs this limiting factor to it. Otherwise, you are going to potentially get knocked so incredibly far away from the other people. And is this just a spawn? It seems like it is. It seems like that's just a respawn closet. We're seeing fewer and fewer of those. Which, in single player, you don't get to use them anyway, so it would only... I'd only be able to fairly determine whether there's too few or too many if I was playing multiplayer and frankly playing
Weapons
a lot of
over here!
multiplayer.
Sniper for me.
Hey, listen to me.
It's totally not worth your time to even try and aim, at least on easy. That's not really the gun I want.
Weapons here.
Reloading.
Do not feed the gators.
I had no plans on feeding the gators. Thank you very much. I hear spitting.
And see, if you had a noise mechanic, well, here we are in the water, and it doesn't seem like it washes it off. Or let's actually just See if we can run into it. Nope. Yeah, if you had had a noise mechanic, the explosion of the gas or the propane tank should have triggered a lot of zombies to run into the fire. There should have been an interesting mechanic there. It's one of the things games designers often talk about is if you find a fun gameplay mechanic, basically consider restarting the entire development of your game around that fun gameplay mechanic. That seems like that's fairly missing here. This is a very generic mechanic. I assume that car is not going to set off an alarm. There's a spawn closet past this wall. Feels like they artificially put this wall, and these trees look incredibly flat. That's something a remake could easily fix, and should easily fix.
Machete here. Reloading.
Apparently that is not an explosive barrel. That's just a rusted barrel.
Reloading.
This feels kind of maze-like. Yeah, it feels like the spitter definitely, like there's a lot of tweaks here. Like if the spitter spit quite a lot, like 2 or 3 times faster, but then it had no lasting on-ground effect, I think that would be more what you'd look. Something that would be almost the equivalent of a flash grenade. Alright, now is the time to deploy
Some
this.
incendiary ammo.
All right.
Like if anybody's gonna be able to. Yeah, we need to find the witch.
Got a witch.
Where is this witch? And that was the standard witch
Can't afford to lose you.
So let's get you up.
in her underwear,
Thanks.
Don't worry about it.
which doesn't
Take
really
this.
get
All
explained.
right. Thanks. This here is some serious bullshit.
Safe house. We gotta be going the right way.
Alright, is there anything else we really even want to check out?
Boom about here.
You're a mess. Stand still.
Ooh, all better now.
See, if you wanted to go in and then come out to
This here is
save
some
somebody,
bullshit.
you pretty much have to do something like this,
Heads up.
and then convince them all to run out that way.
Close that door. Got a charger.
Which, honestly, I think that would have been a funny achievement too, certainly, to summon a bunch of zombies and then slam the door on their face. But it seems like that probably should be a scripted experience that happens fairly often. Like, very rarely do you get told directly, this is the time to run to the safe house. You can run, but
I am not dying in this
a
goddamn
lot
swamp.
of players will come from the opinion that they should
Reloading.
and can kill all the zombies everywhere. Which gets back to the idea that it probably would be a much more interesting game if there was a set amount of zombies in each of these scenarios. Since it's not an open world game and you are going from point A to point B in a storyline way, you won't ever have to program anything. I think some of these are the Mudmen.
I think I hear my ex-wife. Give me your damn lights.
Reloading.
Well, we've got another witch.
Reloading. Reloading.
There needs to be some kind of reward for avoiding the witch,
Reloading.
though. Like, she's going to always be sitting on a landmine or something that you could blow up from a remote detonating, not a landmine, but like a remote detonating amount of C4 or something like that. Would make a lot of sense. See if we can
Over
just
this tree.
see if we can leave it alone. Nope.
Spit coming. Get out of the goo.
Okay.
Weapon. Witch.
That almost killed it. That almost killed it with all the weapons, but now I'm in a bad position where I have just a little bit of fire ammo, which even in this scenario, being on fire doesn't really damage any of the other characters. This definitely does not feel like a sequence where you would be well suited.
Grabbing me a Molotov.
Yeah, to try and play with a melee weapon. Interesting, the Mudmen have an effect of putting mud on your screen. And that feels like something that should have been scripted to happen
Got pills.
so that you see that happen very quickly. Here you have a airplane pilot that's interestingly scripted. Feels like there should be an award for being able to take out something like that from a relatively far distance.
Got a paddle bat.
Panel bat is what they're calling it.
Hey, we
Interesting.
might need these. That's defensive what they do.
Let's see.
Nice.
Woo! I love this gun.
This right here messed some shit up.
Right, so if we were to say throw that there,
Hands up. Weapon.
and then throw that there,
Fire in the hole.
and then you have a toilet that splashes.
Grabbing a Molotov.
Hmm.
Sounds like one of them smoker bitches.
That didn't really feel like it killed a lot of people. 'Cause I wasn't
We got guns.
really paying attention. Yeah, it feels like they should be doing more with the Mudmen. The Mudmen should be throwing kind of mud consistently.
All right. Now I understand why you would jump out of a plane. Boomer sneaking around. All right now. This is gonna work.
Reloading.
Interesting. So this should be the last weapon.
Reloading.
Okay. So the airplane crashed full of zombies.
The emergency exit is the only way.
Seems like we're gonna have... Come on, zombies. Let me kill or decapitate a couple people with this.
Open the door.
Reloading. Reload.
So this is a nice scripted section. You would have kind of wanted to see more of this in the dead air section. You kind of feels like you could just crawl out of that hole. Be ready
Someone
for a
open the
fight.
door.
I'm opening this door.
Why that sounds an alarm, I don't know, but whatever. I'll believe them since I've never opened the airplane hatch. It really highlights where that small handheld knife is totally not the right kind of melee weapon. It would potentially make sense if you were all alone, if you were trying to stealth your way, if you wanted to make the least amount of noise.
No harm in going down.
It would
Help you out.
certainly make a lot of sense to
Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
it would certainly make sense if there was a noise mechanic to have a small knife. Although honestly, that feels like you should get back to the weapon wheel concept. And I don't know what the real limitation here is, as far as the fact that we are limited to 2 guns.
Reloading.
Like, I don't see how that's really
Kill all the zombies. Sound good?
any better. Because unless time slowed down and completely stopped, while we were selecting a weapon from a weapon wheel,
Oh hell yeah! I'm taking
Then-
an auto shotgun.
Nice shot.
like being able to hit like left bump and bring up a weapon wheel instead of hitting left bump and crouching down, where crouch should probably be left
No.
stick click instead of the look button, and the look should be probably an automated thing. There's clearly several.
Weapons over here.
I don't think I've used a pitchfork, so we'll try that.
Watch out for a second. I have to heal.
Hey, I'm reloading.
Now I'm feeling right.
She must have found a health kit. Here we have like a respawn thing.
Hey, watch out!
Where am I supposed to be going? This one seems
Weapons here.
oddly
Reloading.
obtuse. And you'd think that the long length of a pitchfork would be a beneficial weapon, but it's really not. And here you have what look like burnt down
Adrenaline
houses.
shot here.
I'm a reload.
And it's these special infected that are driving me to go from point A to point B, because I'm so lost now. It's like, I guess we're supposed to just be going in this direction, but there's no lighting. There should be little fires or hurricane lanterns or something hanging.
Reloading.
Like,
There's a smoker around here.
All right, good.
Rifle for me.
let's see. They seem to kind of enjoy not putting very many handguns around.
These houses underwater?
I guess maybe we're going that direction.
Weapons here.
Jockey!
Yep. I don't know how you direct players better in that direction without just some kind of light system, or you stick with the boardwalk. Like,
Reloading.
and so it feels like we have now gone back on the road that had the road not been blocked, we would have just walked through that path. There's something to be said for having somewhat realistic architectural city design in your road planning and such in a video game level, but you can fairly easily cheat it too, and nobody's gonna really care.
Reloading.
The village is this way.
Anyone there?
Oh man, I'll give them a kiss if they are. Safe house is right past that fence.
Yep. There's a boomer actually in the safe house. And then that instantly spawned a ridiculous amount of zombies in the safe house. Which you would have to have just assumed that that would have been a no spawn area.
Destroy zombies. That is what we do.
This puts us in a weird position, certainly, in that we are starting chapter 3. We know there's 4 chapters, which means pretty much we're going to leave every episode, just the way these are timed out, going about an hour means you do the first 3 sections of the story, and then the next recording
You should maybe heal.
I do the boss battle.
Yes.
Which, as a YouTube content creator, that is not actually as unique of a problem as you would think, because even if you weren't recording this, I could imagine a lot of people getting only an hour free, having only an hour, setting a timer specifically because they only have an hour to play a game. And if you have specifically broken up the entire segment, the entire scenario to be a certain length, it's very weird that the length you chose is an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes. These zombies hanging over the edge have never really done anything useful.
Reloading.
There's nothing down there, which I'm
Reloading.
not going to complain too much that there isn't a texture there. And there's obviously stuff that could have been left on the cutting room floor as far as level design.
Reloading.
You could have taken out one chapter of every scenario, merged them together, and made yet another scenario.
Adrenaline shot here.
Reloading.
Reloading.
You see, we're now back to the kind of parish houses, I guess is what you'd call them. Like, this is a fairly small, squared off village area, which would be great if you were doing something like Resident Evil 4 and you were going to have to barricade yourself in there for a few minutes and prepare yourself, and some sub-boss with a chainsaw was going to attack you. But there's no scripted scenario like that
Pills here.
that's going to happen. It's maybe somebody will decide to attack you. Maybe somebody won't. Sounds like the game got bored. Meanwhile, as much as the game is getting bored with me, I'm getting bored with the game. Because it is really just a one-note gimmick. Let's throw some zombies at you, let's throw some more zombies at you. Zombie U, it was much more intense and scary to have a single zombie chase after you and run after you. Where here it's welcome gameplay, and it kind of stinks that you can't kick the doors open when you know something is attacking you. So all you can do is shoot through the door. Is there another path this way? Seems
Okay,
like
we
there
need to get
is.
back on the walkway.
Reload.
You still see far too many of these types of buildings where there's kind of nothing to them. They're there either because they are unfinished, or they're there because they are placed to procedurally allow more zombies to spawn.
Reloading.
Can we avoid the witch at this point? Because I don't particularly want to fight the witch once again. Yep. I think Left 4 Dead is failing to really uphold that part of the gameplay bargain, really. Left 4 Dead 1 much more did
Reloading.
allow for you to avoid the witch. Here you pretty much
Weapons
can't.
over here.
The witch could have been, or you could have had some kind of special infected that basically had a timer over its head, so the number of bullets, or maybe the number of loud sounds every second. So you could do like one shot, but if you went bang, 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 that would catch their attention and cause them to attack.
Reloading.
guess if I wanted to pull off the trick where you use adrenaline to revive somebody, I could have let Ellis there take a whole bunch of damage. Of course, trying to get achievements and hurting your chances of actually winning. Yeah, the flashlight mechanic would work a lot better also if it was actually a good flashlight.
All right.
Practically every video game of the 90s era had flashlight mechanics, had bad flashlight mechanics. And I imagine the flashlight mechanics are something that
youngin'.
came built into Source Engine and Unreal Engine and a lot of them. It definitely feels like you could just walk around here.
I'm a reload.
Reloading.
So I'm gonna just try and look in here and see.
Fire bullets. Hey man, hold up. Healing. Oh yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people that need to be healed.
Hold up now. I'll fix you.
Taking the rifle.
Oh, all better now.
Look here. This here first aid is mine. God damn it. Quit fussing and let me heal you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Fire bullets here.
Just a whole lot of bullets.
Hold up, y'all.
Whole lot
I'm
of
gonna
heal kits, so
your
we
ass.
might as well heal everybody.
All right, now I'm back.
I'm gonna try this scope
I
out.
hear that fat woman.
Alright.
Hey,
So where's the witch? She's like in this building, I think. I don't even know how you'd get to that building. So it seems like they've spawned her.
Chainsaw here.
Like, what? Like, she can't be in that building either. Is she like under the place? Yeah, there she is.
Shit, that bitch getting angry.
Oops.
Give me 20. Just fooling. Let's get you
There you
back up
go.
on your feet.
So that was using the adrenaline to revive somebody. Although that didn't seem like that actually gave me an achievement. Well, that was a mistake.
Fire bullets here.
Right, here.
There's a
Grabbing
smoker
fire
around
bullets.
here.
Anybody wanna heal?
Taking the rifle.
I guess not. Seems like they take different weapons based on just how long you stand in an area too. Which probably means it's just random. Assume we're not supposed to be going this way and opening one more empty area. I imagine each of those are spawn closets too. That would make a lot of sense. Where is he?
We all gotta shoot the tank. You hear me? Shoot it! Reloading!
And
Reloading.
even when you have a tank sequence like that,
Weapons over here.
fairly dull. And so you have light here pointing to this weapon, but then from the light, where am I supposed to be going?
Reloading.
I kind of get the idea that maybe if you had
Up
scripted
here.
the zombie placement, that would have drawn the attention of the players. Like that kind of makes sense, and then you would know where to go.
Lower this bridge.
But it doesn't really
Ready to run. I'm hitting
work
it.
as a squeaky bridge, but really not making anywhere as noisy a sound
Let's keep moving.
as you would expect it would need to catch the attention of a bunch of zombies, considering my bullets don't seem to catch the attention of zombies. I think the idea is to see that this is a stack of cans. Can I shoot the stack of cans? Yes, I can. Like, I think the idea with it was to like shoot a lot of bullet holes through the destructible environment there.
Go.
Which, yeah, if we compare that to being trapped in the cabin sequence in Resident Evil 4, that would kind of make more sense. But then I feel like there should have been a fairly big area, much larger than that average size area.
Pipe bomb for me.
So dead bodies. Nothing you can do with the dead bodies.
Reloading.
In the Evil Within, you actually had to burn the bodies. In the Evil Within 1, they kind of got rid of that concept later because it was a little bit of a hassle. They have to burn every single zombie, otherwise it would eventually respawn. I assume we're just going in that general direction. Interesting, the water did put it out. So this light points me here, which it would be funny if the way out of one of these areas is through some kind of secret underground bunker hidden to look like a
Come on, y'all. This way.
commode. This would be the area where doomsday survival bunkers
There's the safe house.
would make sense,
Reloading.
although you probably wouldn't bury a doomsday bunker under the water level where it could easily flood. I'm wondering if a fear level might play a role. Something fairly simplistic. You don't want to get too complicated, but yeah, if your character you're playing as freaked
Quit
out
screwing around. Close
when
the
you
door.
when a zombie got really close to you, there might be something to that idea. And see, I feel like you just right now have a high risk. Like, I'm exactly an hour into this episode. It would make some sense to just try and finish the fight, finish the story here. But I do think there's just too high of a risk that this next section is going to be fairly long or fairly difficult. I have to really question as far as... Alright, that gun seems to be fine. In fact, this probably is one of the best guns because you can shooting gallery this. And see, this should have been the way the game played always, is that you would use this shooting through the window concept. And what I would do is I'd have a character like Nick just say, hey, I bet you $1 if you can't hit all these people in one shot, or hit all the zombies in one shot. And then it would do like a mini game, and then you would hand you $1, and then the running gag there would be you'd be collecting these dollars that are just absolutely useless in this zombie filled world. But as it stands, unless you're just trying to rack up headshots and wait for your other players to get ready, which that's really what this is about. This is the AFK room where somebody runs to the bathroom. Like, there's just no reason to shoot. They just constantly respawn.
Reloading.
I ever tell you about the time my buddy Keith got rolled by a gator in a swamp? Man, he didn't agonize it or nothing. We were just trying to grab two so we could piss him off and get him into a fight. Well, anyway, the third time Keith went under, I realized something was wrong. So
Okay, Ellis, this is really not the best time.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that lovely story, that's gonna be it for this recording. We are slowly working our way through here. I can't imagine there being much of a boss fight or big ending. Like, what you would expect to see is some kind of giant alligator, like giant zombie alligator. We haven't seen any zombie animals in the game at all. A big round arena where alligator swings its tail and you have to jump over it, and then you maybe have to shoot it in its zombie dead eyes to do massive damage. It eats a bunch of zombies and regains its health. See, a charge, dash, attack forward. Those are all things that I would kind of expect to see here, and I bet we don't see any of that. Worst case scenario, if I was the person in charge of developing this game, I would have said, let's start with that concept. Worst case scenario, we have a stationary dead zombie giant alligator that's bigger than anything you've ever seen, and it is an arena that you can look at where a bunch of zombies would run and try and attack the alligator and eat the alligator, even though it was already dead, that there was a bunch of zombies already eating the alligator, and they catch wind of you and start attacking you instead. And then you wouldn't have to program a new character, you just have to program a 3D model. If you got that far, then you would have seen at least dead alligators in the previous parts of the level, like we have seen dead cows, and there could have been something more to that. But even when they used the dead cows, we didn't see the zombies actually caring that the cows were there, so it didn't seem like the zombies were trying to eat the brains of the cows or eat the meat of the cow. So yeah, I suspect what we'll find is there's a boat, and we'll just have to do some things to get to the boat. Probably one of those fan boats that they use in swamps. Yeah, anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.